So good morning, everyone. Lots of waves, loving these waves. My name is Phil Adams. I'm the Education Manager here at Leaf, Linking Environment Farming, and I'm so pleased you are joining us today. I've got three incredible guests with me on this call today, and yourselves, of course, for joining us, and all those schools that can't join us in this live session, but will be sent the recording to see. We've got lots of questions from you. So if you have questions, pop them in the chat. So why are we here? Well, hopefully you've seen three incredible videos from my three very special guests, all about sustainable farming. And our job at Leaf is to give your teachers resources and activities to bring the world of farming to you so you can learn more about it. So I'm going to hand over to our three guests in a second, just to introduce themselves. So Megan, can I come to you first, please?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I work at Blackdown Growers, and at Blackdown Growers we grow baby leaf salad and herbs, both outside and indoors in our glass houses. We work over a certain amount of acres, and yeah, so at the minute we are quite busy harvesting salad leaves that go into your sandwiches and wraps and things, that you buy in supermarkets.
Brilliant. Thank you, Megan. And if you want to see more about Blackdown Growers, don't forget to rewatch that video and see it in action, because it's a fabulous little video from Megan and the team. Duncan, I'm going to come to you next.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Duncan Farrington, and I'm on our farm in Northamptonshire, and we are an arable farm. So that means we grow crops. We grow wheat, we grow beans, we grow oats, and the crop that we're most famous for is rapeseed, which we grow. I've got a little bit here. That's a bit of rapeseed that it'd be like at harvest time. And from that, we make our mellow yellow rapeseed oil. And also, just hearing Megan saying that they grow salad leaves, today in the factory, we're making salad dressings. So maybe you could drizzle some of our dressings on some of Megan's salad leaves and make a delicious salad.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Duncan. And finally, going to come to yourself, John.
Hello, I'm John Renner. I farm in North Northumberland, way up nearly in Scotland. We are a small family farm, and we mainly have beef cows, loads of beef cows with loads of grass, and that's all the beef cows eat, grass. We have a little bit of cereals like Duncan, but ours are quite specialist because we need straw for bedding for the cows. So we have something called triticale, which is slightly different. And that's really about it. Ask questions.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, John. So yeah, a huge welcome to all the schools. And first of all, we're going to get the ball rolling with just a little icebreaker for our three farmers here. So can you, each of you, please give me just 3 words of how you would describe and summarize farming for you? So Megan, come to you first.
First word is rewarding. Do you want me to explain it as like the word as well as just the 3 words?
Just give me the 3 words. We'll quick fire.
Rewarding, ever-changing, and community.
Brilliant. Thank you. Duncan.
I've got varied and rewarding and frustrating.
Frustrating. Love it. And John.
Duncan's chosen one of mine. I'm going to have reactive, fun, and wild. I don't know why I want to put wild in there, but it's just great fun.
That's amazing. So some really great descriptions of farming and all very different. I want to pick out community. Megan, you said community. Tell us a bit more about why farming is like community.
I feel like the farming world is like so vast in what you can do. So and it's like very tight knit. But yeah, so there's like all different types of areas. So you've got like your livestock, your arable farming, your fresh produce, but you could also go into different areas from like selling tractors and combines and working in like technical, which is where you have like audits come in. So yeah, and I think it's not just like nationwide in the UK, farming's worldwide. So it happens in all different types of countries, and like I feel like the farming community all come together when you really need it, so that everyone helps each other out. That's why I think it's got a really good sense of community.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And that's a really nice point, actually, about farming being across the world. Sometimes we think about it where we live, but like schools are and children in their communities, we have farming everywhere. And it looks very different depending on where that farming takes place. So thank you, Megan. Duncan, I want to come to you to pick up on that word frustrating, because that's an interesting one. So we always like to think about farming being positive, but it can be frustrating. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I was nervous about saying that word because I don't want it to be downbeat, but I love the idea of Megan talking about the community. And I've farmed in the UK and abroad in the past. And actually, you get two farmers together, whether it's in England or in Kenya or in Australia or South America or wherever. And the frustrating bit that probably all farmers would say is the weather. Now, at the moment, here we are at the beginning of June. It's actually drizzling outside my window here, and I'm really pleased because we've had lovely sunshine and we need the sun, but we also need a bit of rain. And the one thing as farmers we can't control is the weather. So sometimes it's frustrating, but actually I think you'll find that most farmers, we're quite pragmatic about it because we can't control it. Let's worry about other things and let's get on with the really exciting, varied and rewarding parts of the industry that I absolutely love to be part of.
Brilliant. Thank you. And you've brought up a really interesting point there, the weather. And we actually had a question from Oscar, who's 9, come in. And Oscar says, and I'm going to bring this to you first, Duncan, and then John, I'd like to get your thoughts because you're in a different part of the UK. So Oscar, who's 9, says, how does the weather actually affect farming? So Duncan, over to you.
The weather is everything. Now, if you ask Megan, she'd say because they may grow some of their crops in a glass house, they can have a bit more control. But I know John and myself as outside farmers, and in our case, growing combinable crops in Northamptonshire, what we would like as weather throughout the year is a nice bit of rain and some lovely sunshine. In the winter, we want it actually cold because the cold weather helps kill the bugs and diseases that may come to attack our crops. But the weather is everything. Now, someone described it to me once as farming is a bit like baking a cake. And you may be the best chef and you may use the best ingredients and you may follow the recipe and mix it really, really well. But farmers don't have control over the oven. And so we may do the best farming and grow the best crops and use the best techniques possible, but we can't control the weather. And that's like a cook not being able to control the oven to bake their cake.
Brilliant. Thank you. And then John, what's then the weather like for you? Because you've got a few crops, but you've mostly got beef and cattle.
This is an incredible year. We are recovering from 2 years ago when we had the most unbelievably wet winter. We had twice as much rainfall that we could, and the soils are just starting to recover. And then all of a sudden we've gone into the driest spring we've had since 1964. Now, our big problem for that is, you might go, oh, it's lovely, it's sunny, and the grass looks superb, but we've got cows that are producing milk. They produce milk from grass. The grass really wants to be about 15 centimeters long. And as long as there's a drought, the grass isn't growing. The cows aren't producing enough milk and the calves don't grow quite as well. It's a huge problem. And we need not just a drizzle like Duncan's got this morning. We need gallons of rain, liters of rain, a huge amount. And we might solve the problem. We've just got to be patient. And that's to bring it back a little bit. That's why I said reactive. And it's actually problem solving. Every day you go out onto the farm, you're solving problems, and you have a little diary of what you're going to do that day. And by 10 o'clock, you can throw that away because everything's changed. Every day is different.
It certainly highlights and sounds like the weather is one of those things that can really have a huge impact on farming. And Yeah, it's interesting to see how, John, you need lots of rain. Duncan, you need a little bit of rain. So then, Megan, do you need rain?
We do need rain. All farmers need a little bit of rain. Not like how we've got it today, though. There's quite a lot out there. But yeah, because at Blackdown Growers, we obviously have outdoor farming. And then, as you might have seen on the video, we farm inside glass houses, which is very good for us in the sense that because we've got the glass houses, it protects us from all the weather fronts that can come in. So that can be rain, well, protect the crops from all the weather fronts that can come in. So that can be rain, snow. So when the winter comes, believe it or not, salad leaves can still grow in the glass houses, and we can be making snowmen outside. But yeah, rain we need obviously for our outdoor crops, and then for the glass houses, we actually recycle the rainwater that comes off the glass houses into our boreholes, and then it pumps back into the glass houses to water the plants. So yeah, we do need a little bit of rain, but we're quite protected with the glass houses.
Brilliant. That's really good, because that's kind of answered partly Charlotte, who's 11. She sent a question in asking about how plants get water in your glass houses and nutrients. So the water, you collect it in a borehole. What's a borehole?
Borehole is, think of it like a massive bucket full of water, but like a bucket that's probably as big as a roundabout.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we water the salad leaves and herbs in the glass houses through irrigation, and there's a special type of nozzle that we use within the irrigation. So normally when you're watering your plants at home, you've just got a standard hose pipe that flows water really, really fast. But if we did that in the glass houses, we would flood the plants and it would damage them. So we have a special nozzle that we put on the top that's called a netafin. And this nozzle you attach on the top, and it just lightly sprays the salad leaves using the water from the borehole through irrigation. And it's more like a mist. And this means that the salad leaves in the glass houses will get just the right amount of water and will not drown them. So yeah, that's how we water the salad leaves in the glass houses. And it's great because in the summer, obviously, it's so warm outside. And when you're in the glass houses, it can be really, really hot. So some of us staff members go in there just for a little bit of a cool down when the irrigation's going.
Brilliant. And I'm thinking, because I used to be a teacher, where that summer we had a couple of years ago when we had 40-degree heats in schools, those netafins would have been really nice in my classroom, keeping me cool and spraying me as we were all trying to survive the heat. So yeah, a fabulous system. And if you've got a school garden on site, you've got a little vegetable patch or growing boxes, try and have a Google, have an explore of these netafins, these spray hoses, to see if there's a better way of looking after and caring for the plants and things you're growing at school or at home. Okay, I want to move on now, because Duncan, a moment ago when we were talking about the cold weather, you mentioned it kills off bugs and certain diseases. Now, schools generally at a young age, back in Key Stage 1, they learn all about insects and bugs. So why can they be bad? What can be the problem with them?
It's like everything in life is good and bad. So actually, we work with good bugs and little creepy crawlies and things. And so look, I've got a picture here. I don't know whether that's any good. But that is a bumblebee that I've got on one of my crops outside. The crop is called Phacelia. It's a crop we grow to put goodness back into the soil. And also what it does, and our wildflower margins that we put around the edges of the fields, they provide food and habitat for bumblebees and other insects, including ladybirds and beetles. Now, they're all good insects and creatures, and the ladybirds and the beetles, they may go off into my crop of rapeseed or my crop of wheat, and they might eat some of the bad bugs. And the bad bugs are things like aphids or greenfly, people call them. And the aphids, they will climb up onto the plant and they will literally suck the life out of the plant. The plants, when they're growing, are full of lovely sugars. And the aphids think we want a bit of this. So they'll start attacking the plant and eating it. But then if I've got some good bugs around the field, those good bugs, they go out and they're like my stormtroopers and they will help control my bad bugs. And then I said about the cold weather, because we want to look after the bumblebees and ladybirds in the winter, and they hibernate in our wildflower habitats. But the aphids and the other bad bugs, hopefully cold weather, it kills them off, and then you don't get so many that survive the winter and come to attack your crops the rest of the year. So it's just a case of trying to help nature help us grow our crops healthily.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Lovely to hear that bugs are good and also can be bad, but that you're using wildlife to manage that rather than you having to do things specifically. So that's fantastic. And then we had a little question pop in from Chancel Primary School, Megan. Just said, are the insects a problem in the glass houses?
That's a good question. Thanks for your question. They're not as much the problem in the glass houses because obviously we are protected. It's like a little house. We're like kind of protected from all the outdoors coming in. But we, obviously do have some insects that come in, but obviously we test our soil and things like that to make sure that we are protected from the insects and bugs coming in, but not as much for. We don't have as many insects and bugs coming in like Duncan and John would, because obviously our plants are protected from the glass houses.
Brilliant. Thank you. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ask a question that relates on the video. So John, I'm going to come to you because we saw you produce a lovely video with your cows, and Mia, who's 10, sent this question in to me last week, and she asked me, why is Hoof one of your favourite cows?
Well, I could say that she's one of my favourite cows because she's so beautiful. But each cow has a name, and their name, the first letter of the name, reflects the year she was born. So Huff's actually getting quite an old cow now, because we're now bringing cows into the herd that are called Violet and Viola, and there's a Win. And so Huff's getting quite old. But what Huff has done in her lifetime with us, every year she's produced a calf. Every year she's got in calf. Then she's produced a calf without us having to assist her in any way. She's had no antibiotics. She's had no medicines other than the ones, the vitamins or the vaccines that we give them. And then she's walked off with a calf, and her calf has just grown and grown off the grass we've been feeding her. And then she comes back in and she does it all again the following year. The perfect cow, and that's why I love Huff. She's just the perfect cow. And just to go back, Duncan, I think we should all watch Bug's Life, because what you described earlier is in Bug's Life. The whole lot. Watch the film, Bug's Life. It's great.
Okay, I'll look at that. Thank you, John.
Brilliant, fantastic. And yeah, John, just thinking about what you're saying there, you don't have to do much with that cow then and her calves. So there's a lack of, or there is less human intervention. So she's allowed to be a cow. So how do you know if she's happy? How do you know if cows are happy? This is from Harper, who's 7. How do you know if they're happy?
How do we know? You can just tell. They lie down, they're content. Their tummies are full. It's like us. What do we do when our tummies are full? We lie on the settee in front of the telly, don't we? And then we're content. The cows don't have tellies. They're outside up on the moor or whatever, and you can just tell they're sitting down. Their calves are with them. Today I've been out and checked them, and it's not such a hot day here, but on a hot day they're sitting on top of the hill. And the reason they're on top of the hill is because there's less flies on the top of the hill. But today they're in the bottom, so it means it's a bit cooler. The flies aren't bothering them, and you just walk through them. You can just tell, and they're chewing. When they chew and their jaws are going from side to side, they're chewing their cud, it's called, and it's all part of the process of digestion, and that's what a content cow is. You can see their sleek skins. They're like Formula One cows.
Formula One cows. I love that. So, children, if ever you're driving past fields and you see cows, if they're lying down, they look like their skin's really smooth, like a Formula One car, you know they must be very happy, and the farmer's doing a really good job looking after them. Fantastic. Okay, thank you, John. Duncan, I'm going to come to you now. And I want to talk more about mellow yellow oil, because this is a really unique product you've got, because it's Leaf Mark certified. So for those of you on the call that don't know what that is, this logo up here on my screen, you may see it on some food packaging. So Duncan is there holding the bottle up, and he's pointing to the logo on his mellow yellow rapeseed oil. So Duncan, first of all, can you tell me a little bit more about your rapeseed oil, how much you bottle a year? Give us a bit more about the oil you produce.
Yeah, certainly. So way back when I was at university, part of my research was looking at rapeseed, and I found that actually rapeseed, which we grow in Britain. So when you go around the countryside, last month they were those beautiful yellow fields you see. So that is what rapeseed is, and it's one of the crops that we grow in Britain. And I actually looked at it and found it's a really, really healthy oil to use in the kitchen. And eventually roll forward to 2005, so 20 years ago this year, we became the first company in Britain. I became the first person to grow, press and bottle rapeseed oil all on a farm. So rapeseed is one of the crops we grow. It's part of a crop rotation. And we came up with the brand name Mellow Yellow because it's yellow color and it's mellow flavor. And as a leaf farmer, I wanted it to be Leaf Mark. So we are independently audited each year to make sure we're doing the right things for sustainability and growing our crops healthily. And we started the business in 2005. And in our first year, we produced 6,500 bottles of Mellow Yellow. And I put them in the boot of my car, and I travelled around, first of all, Northamptonshire, and knocked on doors of shops. And on my first day, I got 8 shops as customers, and I got a speeding ticket as well, which is something you probably don't want to admit to, but I was in a hurry and I was keen and passionate. And here we are all these years later. We've got a nice little business. We employ 14 people on the farm. We still grow the rapeseed, we still press it, and we still bottle it all here. But we can produce as many bottles now in one day as we did in our whole first year. And in fact, now we hit a new record in the last couple of weeks. We produced over 7,000 bottles in a day. And we sell it around the country in supermarkets and shops and farm shops and various places. And also we have chefs use it. So we have Michelin star chefs that use it in their smart restaurants. We have people like Jamie Oliver and Nigella Lawson and James Martin, and they're all famous chefs that maybe a lot of the teachers will have heard of. And they love using Mellow Yellow, and we're very proud and very happy. And also, we now make more rapeseed oil than we can grow. So we buy the rapeseed from other Leaf Mark farmers from around Northamptonshire and the surrounding counties. So that comes back to Megan's idea of farming being a community. If I hadn't got that community of Leaf Mark farmers out there, or because we've got that network of Leaf Mark farmers around there, it's a really good community, and it's lovely to work with other farmers.
Fantastic, brilliant. And for schools, for children, in your next maths lesson, if Duncan can bottle 7,000 bottles a day, how many bottles can he produce in a year? Let's see if you can work that out, and we'll give Duncan a target to produce that number of bottles next year. Fantastic. And then we've got a wonderful question here from Reynolds Primary School, and they've asked about oils like rapeseed turning into a liquid. And I think you showed the process happening in your video, Duncan, but actually how long does it take to turn the oil, to collect the oilseed rape and then get it bottled into that liquid?
That's a very good question. So here, I've shown it earlier. This is just a part of a rapeseed plant. So it doesn't look like this at the moment. At the moment, it's green in the fields. And that rapeseed plant is still growing. It's having a bit of rain today and a bit of sunshine tomorrow, hopefully. And then we will harvest that at the end of July. And when we harvest it inside these pods, I don't know whether you probably can't hear that, but it's rattling because the seeds are dry. And I've got here in a glass jar, these are the rape seeds. They're tiny little seeds, and it's a bit like mustard seeds. I don't know, no, it's not very good, but they're these tiny little black seeds. They are hard and they are dry. So where does the oil come from? Well, inside each one of these seeds, half of it is oil, and we just squeeze it and we get the oil out, and then we just filter it and put it in a bottle. Now, in theory, I could harvest the crop one day. So I could go with my combine harvester. I could take the crop, take it to the factory, put it in the factory, and we could turn it into a bottle of oil in 24 hours. That's as quick as we can do it. In reality, we probably take a little bit longer because we need to fill the tanks up ready for the guys to put in the bottles. But basically, we're making oil every day of the year, and then it goes onto a pallet and then onto a lorry and out to the supermarkets and then onto the shelves where you can buy it. And then you could maybe buy some of Megan's leaves and make a nice salad for your lunch or your tea. And I think the only thing that needs to go with that is a steak, and maybe Johnny can help you out on that front as well.
Brilliant. Fantastic. And this is a lot of the point of farming, isn't it? It's like Megan said, it's this community. So we've got farmers across the UK, across the world, all producing different products, and they all come together for us to be able to purchase them from supermarkets, from the local shops, from restaurants, and all these wonderful places you go to get your food. Finally, because I'm conscious we've got a couple minutes left of our live Q&A. We've had so many good questions, so I'll have to ask John, Megan and Duncan kindly to share some more answers with me for questions, and we can then send them out to schools if we haven't been able to answer them. But I want to just come to each of you in turn now and just ask you, what's one thing you would like children to take away from this Q&A today? What message would they take away from farming? Just what do we want young people to know from your perspective? So, John, am I right to come to you first?
Oh, thank you very much. This is a hard one. Healthy food. That's the one thing. Eat healthily. Think about what you're eating. I'll shut up at that. Healthy food. Most important.
Healthy food. Brilliant. Thank you, John. Megan.
Yeah, just on the back of John's as well, I think for me it'd be like to support like British farmers and like the UK, and like across the UK we grow so much good like produce, from like leaf to potatoes, and even like livestock and meats. But I think just when you're out in your supermarkets and you're with your mum and dad, meant to look out for the British flags on your produce, because you're really supporting UK farming. That's how you can support UK farming in that way.
Brilliant. Thank you, Megan. And Duncan.
Yeah, I think both Megan and John have answered it. I'd add to that, be intrigued, or if you are intrigued or interested, go and ask, because it's all about healthy food. It's all about nutrition, and enjoy cooking and creating your own recipes. And hopefully, you can do those classes at school. But then if you're really interested, go and visit a farm and look at it as it's a potential career. Everything from driving a tractor to milking a cow to so many other things. It really is a wonderful career. And how many careers can you have where your office is outside in the fresh air?
Brilliant. Thank you, Duncan. And it's a really good point we've made there at the end. If you're interested in farming, you want to talk to more farmers like Megan, John and Duncan and learn more about it. This weekend on Sunday, it is Open Farm Sunday. So if you go onto the Leaf website, and hopefully your teachers will have that link, you might be able to find a farm near you that's open. and many of them are free for you to attend with your families, and you can go along, you can meet the farmers and ask these questions. And finally, from me, a huge thank you to our 3 fabulous guests today, and for all those that are joining us live and those that will see the recording after this session. You've been absolutely fabulous guests today. If you want to learn more about sustainable farming, you've got the Farming Fortnight resources, but as Duncan's mentioned, as John and Megan have mentioned, here is that Leaf logo. If you go out to the supermarkets and you can see that logo, you know you're also buying food that is grown by farmers like John, Megan and Duncan, who are dedicated to farming and for caring for the environment. So let us know when you come across that Leaf logo, share it with us, share it with your teachers, and I look forward to working with you more in the future. But for me, from now, I'll say a huge goodbye to you all, and thank you so much for joining us for our live Q&A today.
Brilliant.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.